Are you still laughing? I see your head shaking, and I'm like,
I'm trying to hold it back.
Is she yawning? She's laughing. Okay. Hello, and welcome to Geek-lish, the language of geek culture. I am the key master, Timothy Aguiar, and she is the gatekeeper of Gozer, Heidi Burbo.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. I am the gatekeeper.
Yeah. Not the key master. All right. Let's just reiterate that. Because I know how much Lou loves that when reiterate.
I know. When we circle the drain.
Yeah.
All right. To find more information about the Geek-lish podcast or to listen to our episodes, you can go to www.geek-lish.com. We have a Facebook page, and that is Geek-lish. We have a Twitter, which is at Geek_lish. You can also hear our episodes on Spotify, Stitcher, and iTunes. Just search for Geek-lish and download episodes to listen offline. Also, on our website, we have a new page called Extras. This is funny content that didn't make it to the episodes. So check it out.
Yeah, it's great. It's full of horrible language and bad references.
Yes. And we circle the drain, and it's just funny random stuff that we giggle at.
Yeah, you can hear how many horrible takes it takes me to do the opening. I don't know why it takes me so long. 20 minutes just to get ready. Which is where the extras come from.
Yeah. All right, let's hit the news.
The news. Some happy news. Well, I don't know. Happy news. It doesn't matter. Ghostbusters 3 has a release date.
Sweet.
Yeah. July 10th. 2020. Fuck. 2020. I can't read.
July 10th? I think you said 20th.
July 10th.
Oh.
2020.
Oh.
Yeah, I said a lot of numbers there.
Yeah.
Because I kept stumbling.
Yeah. Also, might be the
It could be that as well.
feedback.
Yeah.
So July 10th, 2020.
Yeah.
That's the release date for the third.
The sequel
considering
to
it the third.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's a direct sequel from the original 2.
Okay.
That was directed by Ivan Reitman. This one will be directed by his son, Jason Reitman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he directed, you may know him as the director of Thank You for Smoking and Juno, 2 great movies.
I did watch Thank You for Smoking for a class.
You were horrified by that movie.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it wasn't like a scary movie. It's just like what the movie's about.
Right.
Was like, these people are fucking horrible.
I know. I had to watch it for a marketing class.
Yeah. And that's a hell of a movie to watch for marketing.
Yeah.
Because, goddamn, that guy is a good marketer.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, it's great. It's got like really dark comedy, and both that one and Juno has kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of stuff. And
right.
I think it fits well with the world of Ghostbusters. And plus all the original actors in it that I know of. I know the original 3, oh my God. Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray.
Ernie Hudson?
Dan
Aykroyd.
So yeah, Dan
Ernie
Aykroyd,
Hudson.
Ernie Hudson, Bill Murray, and unfortunately Harold Ramis passed away. But he was one of the original writers and actors of the original 2, which I think was the reason why this one took so long. Because I remember hearing prior to the 2016 remake with the all-female cast that they were thinking of doing a third. But I think with the passing of Harold Ramis and maybe some of the writing kind of fell through and something happened, they just decided to scrap the idea. Mm-hmm. And I think it was around the time where Paul Feig was like, I'm making an all-female cast. And we're like, screw it. Let's put all of our eggs in that basket and kind of promote that instead, which is what happened.
And then that didn't go well.
That didn't go very well at all.
It's too bad because there was some really great actors in that movie.
Yeah. Well, like when I heard Paul Feig was directing it, I was pretty excited because he directed Bridesmaids, which was a hilarious movie.
Oh my God, so funny.
He directed the Spy movie with Melissa McCarthy.
Again,
another hilarious movie.
Yeah.
He directed really good stuff.
Yeah.
So when he was attached to it, and then I heard that Melissa McCarthy was going to be in it, Kristen Wiig was going to be in it, Kate McKinnon from Saturday Night Live, as well as Leslie Jones from Saturday Night Live. You have a funny cast.
Yeah.
You have some talented people. There's no reason why this should fail, but it did.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun. Surprise, surprise. But I don't know. I watched it. I really wanted to like it, but it just kind of fell flat, and it just.
So it wasn't the acting. It was so much.
Some of the acting was kind of like it wasn't their best.
Yeah.
Some of it didn't feel. So it was like the nostalgia was there because there was some tongue-in-cheek stuff like, oh look, it's Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and Ernie Hudson. They're there, and oh man, it's nice to see them. But it was all like nostalgia and kind of nothing. It felt too much like a weird remake than a standalone because it had a lot of story beats from the original movie that I was just like, oh, they're kind of just doing the same story, but the jokes aren't as funny. So I really wanted to like it because, especially with all the hate that was surrounding it, because people were complaining that it was an all-female cast.
Yeah.
It was an all-female cast, and, oh, this is going to ruin my childhood. How am I going to enjoy the originals? By pressing play on your DVD player, stupid.
Yeah, and watching the original
and then watching the original
idiot
ones. Like I absolutely hate that excuse of it's just going to ruin my childhood. No, it's not. And if your childhood is that fragile, you need to rethink your childhood.
Yeah, if your childhood is that fragile that a remake can ruin it, then you have bigger problems.
Was it really that great of a childhood?
Yeah.
I would argue that your childhood probably was terrible.
Yeah.
If Ghostbusters was like the saving grace, I'm sorry.
You had a shit childhood.
You had a shit childhood that like 4 women could ruin your already fragile childhood.
I think that goes back to the toxic masculinity where men are just, there's a certain type of man out there, man and guy or kid, young man or whatever, that just has a problem with women being in certain roles that they're used to having a male role for.
Yeah,
I think that's what it comes from. It's not, I think even if that show or that movie was fantastic, people would have still had a problem with it.
That's what I mean. And especially with all the hate, I was like, I hope this movie is phenomenal. Just to shut those people up. And I went in really wanted to liking it, and I was like, oh no, this is not great.
It's bad.
The haters are justified. There's nothing worse than a troll that's successful.
Yeah, exactly.
Just successfully guarding that bridge.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. But the real story here is Leslie Jones, one of the actresses from the remake. She had a couple of harsh words for the remake. On her Twitter, she tweeted this: "So insulting. Like, fuck us. We didn't count. It's like something Trump would do." In parentheses, Trump voice. "Gonna redo Ghostbusters. Ugh. So annoying. Such a dick move. And I don't give a fuck. I'm saying something." So she's upset.
Yeah, a little bit.
Clearly.
But I don't get the Trump reference.
The Trump reference kind of like I understand being annoyed because your movie came out, it wasn't successful, and I can kind of see where this movie's coming out. It's an all male cast that the female cast failed. That I can see her feeling like because we failed, now they feel like they have to pick up the torch again and go and run with it because we obviously dropped the ball. So I maybe it's kind of like a feeling of like our failure is being shoved in our face. I can kind of see it, but then you lose me with the whole Trump comment.
Yeah, I don't get that, and I'm not a fan of him at all, but I don't understand what he has to do with anything.
Yeah.
It's like, because he's a dick?
Yeah.
I
get it,
shoehorn that in there because he's a dick? I don't get it.
Yeah, like I don't understand.
But also, that whole comment's a little bit annoying to me because I'm thinking, is she looking at it because was a female cast and it wasn't successful, so now they're just like, screw them and moving on? Because that's called equality. If your movie sucks and they decide they want to make another one to try to repair.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
But they're not even repairing it though, because the Paul Feig movie is kind of being seen as like it's another universe kind of thing, and the sequel it's a sequel. It's a direct sequel to the original 2 movies. So I don't see it as they're like, oh man, something went wrong, let's fix the universe.
Right.
I don't think it's that. I think it's just the son of the original director is like I wanted to make this movie. I can now make it.
Right, but I'm wondering if she's taking it that way.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. And she recently tweeted another tweet. This one more of a clarification of what she was trying to say.
She had to clarify that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it felt pretty clear.
Yeah,
but
I think so too.
But some of this actually closes it up. She goes, The point is, if they make this new one with all men and it does well, which it will, it might feel that boys are better. It makes my heart drop. Maybe I could use different words, but I'm allowed to have my feelings just like them. So I think it is more of the, like the us as women, we failed, and now that the men are picking up the pieces, they're gonna fix our mistake. Like what you said. Like maybe that clearly is what she is feeling.
Yeah, and I think as women, we need to be very cognizant of how we represent our failures and our successes, because I don't think it's going to be successful because it's an all-male cast, and it's not going to be all-male. There's going to be, some females in there too. Right. But regardless, I don't think it's going to be successessful because of that. I think it's going to be successful because it's just going to be successful.
Yeah. If it is. Yeah, if it is. There's no guarantee.
No, there's not. But I don't like the idea of, I don't like the idea of going, well, we had a girls cast and you didn't like us, and they're going to have a boy cast, and if you like them, then that means they're better. No, it means the movie was better. And it becomes to be like, it's almost like I'm not sure of the word right now. I'm still frustrated from earlier. But it's like going back to, I want to get a job because I'm good for the job, not because I'm a woman.
Right.
And I don't think women should get real comfortable with crying about, something going wrong or somebody doing something better and worrying if people are going to think it's because they're men.
And if the Ghostbusters 3 movie does succeed, I don't think it's going to succeed because it's a male cast. It's going to succeed because it has the original cast.
Yeah.
And that's what people wanted to see.
And it might have better writing.
It might have better writing. It might not.
Yeah.
This movie might blow.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee.
But she's kind of setting it up for people already, which I don't really like.
Yeah.
And I really like her, but I don't like that idea.
Yeah. But Paul Feig tweeted and came to her defense in a way. He said, Leslie spoke her truth and I support her. I am very open to Jason's new version of Ghostbusters, but am also sad that our 2016 team may never get to bust again. We all are. We're forever proud of our movie. I feel like that's the right way to go about it.
Yeah.
You're upset because the movie didn't do well for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. And, but you're wishing the other team well.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how you should do it.
Yeah, I think that was pretty diplomatic.
Yeah.
The way he said that.
But then again, he's also a director. And if he wants to work in Hollywood again, you kind of have to be diplomatic.
You not to say that there aren't people you might work for.
Yeah, not to say that there aren't actors or directors who are like complete dickheads and they still get work, but I feel like that's not those. I think those guys have clout,
right?
But even, in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, even Jason Reitman, the new director, he said, "I have so much respect for what Paul created with those brilliant actresses, and would love to see more stories from them. However, this new movie follows the trajectory of the original film, so there's no connection.
No,
it's a sequel.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
People just need to calm down.
Yeah, and from what I've read, that's been slightly leaked. From what I understand, the story isn't even revolving around the original cast. It's revolving around these two children, one 13 and one 12, I believe are the ages. A 13-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy. 12-year-old boy is interested in ghosts and the paranormal, and I imagine he looks up to the Ghostbusters. Mm-hmm. And this girl is apparently a genius, but she's got kind of Sheldon levels of...
she's not social.
Yeah. She's very antisocial, and she just kind of says what's on her mind, whether it's going to hurt your feelings or not.
Right.
She's just going to tell you what she sees. So I guess it'll be a fun little kind of duo there where he's, like, oh, it's definitely a ghost. And she'll be like, well, no, technically it might be this kind of anomaly or whatever. So there's a possibility that it could be entertaining, but in all honesty, it kind of throws me off that it's about kids.
Yeah, that's you explaining the content a little bit of what we believe it might be about, because it was a leak. Right?
It was a leak.
It doesn't interest me at all. But I'm going to wait until the actual trailers come out and watch it and see, and probably go see it anyway.
Right, probably. Because the original guys will be in it. They're going to be playing their original characters. So it might be a passing of the torch type situation. I just hope it's not a passing of the torch situation like Indiana Jones was to Crystal Skull.
Oh,
this is a horrible movie.
Speak of that abomination.
I'm sorry. I'll go kill myself now.
How dare you? How dare you bring that up?
The movie that shall not be spoken.
The Voldemort of movies. The Voldemort.
I don't know if that's the Voldemort of movies, but it's one, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not a great movie.
No.
It's very disappointing. I really wanted to like that movie.
I did too.
And then I saw the aliens, and I was like, it's still entertaining.
It was reasonably entertaining right up to that point. And I remember seeing it and going, fucking aliens, really?
I know. But even then, but see, this is the weird thing. Because watching the original movies, there's some weird shit that happens in those movies.
Yeah.
So it's kind of on par, but for some reason, like, aliens, really.
I don't know. It just
kind of throws me off.
I think it's...
Like, I believe in aliens more than I believe in God, but the religious storylines in all three, like the original 3 Indiana Jones movies, I'm so much, like, better with.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, I believe in aliens, but this is so stupid.
Maybe it was the way it was written. I don't know.
Maybe. There was a lot of stupid mode. Shia LaBeouf is swinging on vines with monkeys. It's a pretty stupid scene.
Yeah.
It had a lot of dumb parts.
Yes.
Not even just the aliens. It's just like, oh, all right, he's doing that. And some guy gets eaten alive by fire ants. It's like, that's not how that works. That's not how fire ants work. They don't lift your body up and bring you into their hole. It's not how ants work.
Yeah. They eat you right there.
Yeah, they will destroy you right there. Like like you ever see those reel me in, Heidi? I'm reeling myself in.
I'm sorry.
Okay, anyway, ants are weird. And Indiana Jones 2 was bad. 4 was bad. 2 was great.
Yes.
Not a lot of people like 2. I don't know why. Anyway. Next story. Our old friends, EA.
God damn it.
They're doing some things. They're coming out with a new game. Anthem.
What kinds of things, Tim?
I will tell you, Heidi. They're coming out with a new game named Anthem. They're publishing it, and BioWare Studios is developing it. BioWare Studios has made some great games in the past. They're mostly known for their Mass Effect games, as well as a Mass Effect Andromeda, which was a shitstorm.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It got a lot of bad press because, like, this same company made the first 3 Mass Effect games, which were masterpieces of sci-fi RPG brilliance, where there was so much depth to your character and the other characters that you befriend, and you can evolve relationships from those people, and there's so much to it. And then Mass Effect Andromeda came out, and it was a hot mess. It was almost like Bethesda made it. It was full of bugs. Didn't run right. It just looked horrible. The for some reason, like the graphics of like the faces and the lip syncing was off. It was so bad. I don't know what the hell happened.
Bethesda is now a thing. Like if something's really crappy, you can go, "Oh, that's so Bethesda."
They Bethesda the shit out
of that.
What the hell? And then when you get screwed, you call it an EA. Are you trying to EA me right now? I saw that, Bethesda. Don't try to EA me. These are now nouns.
Yeah.
It's just their curse words. But the VIP demo, let's do that again. VIP demo was a few weeks ago, and it was riddled with issues. Some bugs, nothing game-breaking, but bugs nonetheless, and server issues, massive server issues. People waiting they were getting loading screens that would take hours to load. And I mean, there were quote unquote easy fixes to those things, like having to restart your game or your console or whatnot. But it's like I shouldn't have to do extra steps to get the game to work.
Right.
I should just hit it and it works and it plays.
It's like taking your little game thing out, blowing on it, and put it back in.
I shouldn't have to do NES hacks by blowing in it, using a Q-tip with alcohol, putting a book inside the system to keep the game down. Like these are life hacks I shouldn't have to do with modern day gaming. Yeah. Just restart the system, unplug it for 30 seconds, plug it back in, call your cable provider. Fuck off. I don't want to do this shit. I just want to play the game. It's a demo that should be working. Yeah. And the argument was from a lot of people was that these were the VIP demos, they released these kind of codes to get in. So not anybody can get in. They were VIP. And they also handed out friend codes. But the only way you can get a VIP demo was, I believe, if you pre-ordered the game. So people who already already put money into EA's game Anthem are already getting screwed. We're already getting screwed with that demo. So it's like, I already paid you guys pretty much for this game so I can play this demo, and it's not working.
Wow.
It's like, that's not a red flag.
That is a big red.
That's a big red flag. It's got server issues, but it's like, all right. And the other thing that kills me is that a lot of people were like, well, it was a beta. No, it was not a beta. It was a demo. Demos are finished games that you can try out. Beta, you know going in, okay, this isn't going to be polished. There's going to be things wrong with it. There might be a bug here and there. You're fine with it. You kind of have that understanding. Mm-hmm. You're game testing for free.
Yeah.
You're not getting paid for it, but at least I got to play early. This was a demo. Everything should work. This is the historical accuracy argument all over again. Yeah. As long as you didn't say that it was historically accurate, you would have been fine with that character. If you would have called this a beta, a VIP beta, you would have been fine.
Yeah.
This wouldn't have been an issue, but you called it a demo, which sucks. But from the people who could play, I watched hours of gameplay. Hours. I sat through hours for this podcast. You're welcome.
The sacrifices you make, Tim.
Oh my God. I had to put the thing in my eye to keep my eyelids open. I dripping water in there so my eyes I was horrible. Oh, but from what I saw and from what the people reviewed the demo, there's some good stuff here. It's not a complete train wreck. The flight mechanics for the robot suits that you're flying in are actually fun. They're a little kind of weird the way the mechanic works, but the flight actually seems fun. Mm-hmm. And the world is apparently huge, so you're flying everywhere. The problem with how big the world is, though, is that a lot of people were saying it feels very empty. There's not a lot there, but this was a demo, so they're not going to put everything out there for you. So when the full game comes out, we'll see if maybe the world gets filled with more stuff. But the thing that probably isn't going to change is the repetitive feel of the missions. They were all pretty much, hey, we have to kill 15 guys, go over there and kill those 15 guys, or bring that thing to that area, now bring that other thing to that other area. Just do that over and over again until you get a success. And it's like, that's all right. This is fun.
Is it?
I guess. I'm flying around in an Iron Man-esque suit.
Okay.
So, and somebody got it because somebody actually was wearing the colors, the gold and red. Oh. I was like, this guy gets it. I love it. And it looked so good. Graphically, this game looks beautiful.
Oh,
it
good.
looks amazing. And I'm using a lot of hand motions that nobody can see.
No.
But I can see it and I love it. But there's an even bigger issue because recently a photo was released. It was leaked, so to speak. And it showed the economy system at work for this game, where you can go in the store and buy the skins and any other extra completely cosmetic stuff. There's no guns. It's just cosmetics. Okay. So we should all be fine with microtransactions if they're cosmetic, right? No. Go fuck yourself. I even cosmetic stuff I feel icky about. I'm a little bit more fine with, but it's still like you're still, I don't know. So one of the items, they had 2 skins up for sale for 2,000 shards. Yeah. But it was also available for so much gold coins. So I looked it up. 100 shards is $1. So this item was a $20 item.
Oh my God.
$20 for paint for your robot suit.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, $20. There were other items. There were a couple of, there was like a badge for like $12. An emote. You can have your, one of your robots pretend like he stepped in some gum for $12 if you wanted that.
What?
You want to have some fun? Be like, oh man, I stepped in some otherworldly gum. Oh, that was a good $12. Give me a fucking break.
Oh God.
That's too much. Even for cosmetics, that's too much. Years ago, Bethesda released horse armor. Now, this is an infamous moment in gaming where horse armor was for sale. Literal armor you put on your horse in one of the Oblivion games. They were selling in their market. Now, that was about like maybe $5, I remember it being. That was a huge deal. So now EA is selling paint for $20.
Well, to be really honest, I play the Sims games, and everything is extra.
Oh, yeah.
You have to buy stuff packs and expansion packs. And
right.
Some of them give you a lot more. Like the expansion packs give you a whole new world.
Right,
A whole new neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you get also furniture and some clothes and some new hair and stuff like that. But
new pets and
and then
jobs.
there's stuff packs, which is like they have one that's It's called Laundry Room or Laundry Day, and then you get a washer and dryer, different colors of washer and dryers, and some baskets and some hanging things. But why do we have to, like, the game itself is, like, the Sims game, I think is $50, $49.99 or $39.99.
Something like that, yeah.
And then you have to pay $20 for the stuff, for the stuff packs, and then $40, I think. I don't remember what it is. But anyways, you have to pay extra for all this extra stuff. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I want to play the game with all this stuff. I have to buy all this stuff?
Yeah, for a completely full game, 100%, you're paying almost $200. So this isn't a $60 game, or this isn't a $40 game. It's like now it's almost $200.
Right.
Because you're gonna buy the stuff, you're gonna buy the other neighborhoods, you're gonna buy the seasons and the new jobs and all that other shit.
Yeah. My point is EAA is really notorious for this already.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of companies do this.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing as bad as $20 skins. This is the worst. This is out. Yeah, it's absolutely outrageous. And so on Variety.com, an interview with BioWare said there are no items included, including cosmetics and emotes, that are only available for purchase with shards, which is the money you pay with real money, the stuff you buy with real money. Everything is available for coin only or has a dual price, giving the players the option, quote unquote option, for saving up their coins or dropping real money on shards for an emote or skin. The shop only sells cosmetics, not weapons, and there are no loot boxes. Cool. What's the drop rate on coins per mission? Because if a skin that's 45,000 coins, if I get, say, 25, 50 coins per mission, how many missions am I going to have to do to get that skin?
Oh my God. You're gonna
a lot, right?
Yeah.
If I have to spend 20 hours just to unlock one skin to just grind missions, it's not worth it.
No.
And that's where your quote unquote choice comes into play.
Yeah.
Because you're not really giving people a choice. The choice is spend extra hours of just monotonous grinding to get the gold coins if you don't want to spend real world money, or just say, fuck it. Here's my credit card.
Yeah.
Because how many people are just going to say, fuck it, here's my credit card? A lot.
A lot of people, yeah.
That's why companies do this, because they know people will do that. There are people out there who are gambling addicts, who are addicted to these things. Cosmetic or not, they're addicted to this stuff.
Yeah.
The companies have nicknames for these people. They call them whales.
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
People who spend an outrageous amount of money on whether it be on phone games or AAA games like this, they're called whales because they're the big money makers. They're the people who are dropping thousands of dollars on stupid little shit that is meaningless.
Wow, that is a whole nother level.
Right? It's a little insulting.
And Tim, there's a word for this kind of.
Oh, I don't know, Heidi. Do you mean nefarious? Because it's fucking nefarious.
Yes, it is.
This is some real nefarious shit.
Yeah.
Because these are nefarious business practices.
Yeah, they are.
And a lot of companies do this. And what kills me is that so many companies have got Activision has gotten caught with this kind of stuff. There was a Lord of the Rings game, Battle of War for Mordor, or Battle of Mordor, or whatever, that had loot boxes and pay to win stuff, and that you couldn't get the full, like the proper ending for the game unless you went through like this gauntlet of stuff that you had to do, but you needed the best orcs to do it. And the only way to get those best orcs was either to grind for them or say, fuck it, here's my credit card, and buy them from the loot boxes.
Oh.
And they got a lot of shit for it. And guess what they did? They changed it and said, oh, you don't have to do that anymore. It's almost literally a switch that they can flip and go, all right, we're going to make this game fair now.
I don't understand that. I don't like
money.
Yeah, I know.
That's the answer to all of these questions.
I know, but it seems to me they think that gamers are just idiots, that they're just going to consume, and they can give them, all of this garbage to eat. But then when people get enough, say, they have had enough, and they finally go, okay, no, we're not going to put up with this. Then they go, oh, okay. okay.
Yeah.
Why did you do it in the first place?
Right. And here's the thing is that EA, the kings of Neferity,
Yeah, they are.
they did this with Battlefront 2, the Star Wars game, Battlefront 2.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Where in the beginning there was loot boxes and it became a pay to win thing where, you spend all this money on these shards to unlock loot boxes and you would get the best weapons and gear. And you're going to have an upper hand against somebody who's not going to spend the real money and just kind of grind for it and just play the game normally. And there was also in the same game situation where to unlock characters was an exorbitant amount of money, like gold coins or whatever, or credits that you earn through the game. So it was going to take hours and hours to unlock Darth Vader or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like 60,000 credits to unlock Darth Vader, and the drop rate was like 100 every time you played. And it was like, you got to be kidding me.
You're never going to get
They
to
got
that.
enough. Yeah, you're never going to get it. And that's just for one character.
Right.
And they had quite a few hero characters.
So going back to Anthem, they did something like that with the skins.
They did something like that with the skins. Yeah. Well, they responded on Reddit. They said, "Hey there. One thing to keep in mind is these don't represent final stamped for all of eternity pricing. We are iterating on our economy design and balance almost daily. So you're seeing a snapshot of one iteration. This is why we tend to not discuss things like pricing, because it's one of those iterating things that's sure to change frequently, right up until the day you play the game."
That is such bullcrap.
But here's the thing, though. Here's what kind of gives them away. What you see is a snapshot of one iteration. You legitimately thought $20 skins was a good iteration.
Yeah.
Because that was one of your iterations, was that it was going to cost this much money.
And I don't believe that that's a snapshot of one. I think that that's what they were going to go with. And then when they started getting pushback, they thought, we better rethink this.
Yeah, how do we PR the hell out of this?
Exactly.
And bring this back? Because Anthem is pretty much the last chance for EA, in my opinion. Because EA has lost so much credibility with most gamers that if EA screws this up and they try to monotonize the hell out of it, they're going to lose a lot of people. And
Monetize.
yeah, what did I say? Monotonize?
Monotonize.
Sorry. If they plan to monetize.
I was sitting
Thank
there
you,
going,
honey.
I don't think that's, yeah.
That's not right. Monetize. If they plan on monetizing the hell out of this,
Yeah.
they're going to lose a lot of people.
Yeah, they will.
And that's a problem. And the worst thing is that BioWare is in the balance because you have all these hardworking people who are just trying to make a good game.
Yeah.
And they have their overlords at EA kind of shoving this idea in their mind that they need to do this. And unfortunately, if this doesn't work, I think BioWare is just going to be consumed by EA and just go away forever. And I'm sure a lot of the people who work at BioWare aren't going to have jobs.
Yeah.
So this is, I hope this game is a success. I hope it does succeed. The free for everybody demo is out now, but just recently EA released a helpful little guide for people on when you can play Anthem.
Yeah, I saw that. That was...
The handy little guide. It pretty much states that if you buy Anthem on PC and have an Origin Premier subscription for $15 a month, you can start playing the game on February 15th. If you have an Origin Access subscription for $5 a month, you can start playing on the 15th, but only for 10 hours. You can also do that on Xbox because Xbox One also has that EA Access a month subscription thing. Everyone without that subscription, or if you play on PlayStation, you got to wait until February 22nd, which is the official release date. Remember when games used to come out on one date
Yeah.
and everybody got them
On that date?
on that date?
Yeah.
Unless you didn't have the money. Yeah, not anymore.
No.
You need to have a special subscription to shit in order to get it early. And here's what kills me is that, I'm sure most of these people already have these subscriptions.
Right.
But say...
There's going to be a lot that don't.
No,
and once
that's what I mean.
see that...
There's going to be a lot that don't. And the fact that this handy little guide comes out perfectly in time for the demo that was released a couple of days ago, that's open for everybody, boy, that's probably going to really make you want to get yourself an Access account. isn't it?
Yeah.
For at least $5 a month or $15 a month, so you can get that game early and play it, especially if your friends are going to play in it. You know, I mean, my friend Todd down the street has an Access account, and he's going to be able to play on the 15th. I want to play with my friend Todd. Mom, can I have an Access account? Or, you know, fuck it, I'm just going to get an Access account if I'm old enough to just do it myself. And now EA has more of my money. Now it's not a $60 game. Now it's a $65 game or a $75 game.
Yeah.
Nefarious. It's nefarious. It's crazy that this is the timing of it. It's too good to be coincidental.
Knowing
EA.
well, yeah, that. But also just going through the marketing courses that I've gone through, which I know everybody's had to go through in these companies where they're in marketing departments. You know that they plan all these things out. They know the dates. They know when everything is going to intersect.
Yeah.
This is completely not random at all.
No, this obviously has to be planned.
Yeah.
Because just the timing of it is so perfect.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just too good. But that's, you know, EA being nefarious, obviously.
As usual.
As is usual. It's the usual thing with EA.
They're always up to something.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the news. But I got some reviews.
Sweet.
I saw some things. Oh.
That's awesome. This is like
I say that every time.
I saw some things.
I saw some things. Smoking a cigarette. I saw some things. You ever seen the face of God? I have, and all that napalm. All right. I'm just going to do a fucking monologue from Armageddon. Might as well. All right. But I watched the... Oh, damn it. Dragon Man. All right. I watched... Yeah, but Dragon Man. Watched the Punisher recently on Netflix, Punisher season 2, and my God, is it a good season? Absolutely amazing. The John Barenthal playing Frank Castle he's so good in this role. He plays asshole very well, as we've seen with him as Shane.
Yeah.
He plays a really good asshole. But the amount of heart and emotion that this character actually has that you can actually see in certain scenes is... There was a moment where the character of Rachel, played by Georgia Wingham...
Don't give any spoilers away.
No, I know. She's... In the beginning of the first episode, she's a young girl that Frank Castle feels he has to protect, so he's kind of protecting her for the majority of the show. But there's a scene where they're talking, and she's kind of talking about his family, and like, you know, do you ever miss your kids and whatnot? And he's kind of looking away from her, and he's, whatever, of course I do, blah, blah, blah. And he's obviously, his mind is set on whatever job or whoever he's got to kill at that moment. But John Barenthal does such a good job with just his eyes that you can see the pain in his eyes. It's just like... you can see them welling up and starting to what, and you can see that he just wants to break down and just cry because he wants to remember his children and his wife. And it was a scene like that I texted you. I was like, John Barenthal is a fucking amazing actor. Yeah. That was the scene, because I was like, oh my God, he's amazing. Like, he's a good action star, and like the action in this was really good. But he was so good, and everybody was just really good in it. Ben Barnes, who plays Billy Russo, aka Jigsaw, which is a main villain in the comic books, as well as Josh Stewart, who plays John Pilgrim, who is a hitman-esque assassin. That's kind of a problem throughout. There's just a lot of character development in this season where you see these kind of rough, hard men, and there's a softness there that is kind of they're trying to protect, because they have to be hard and they have to be merciless and they have to be killers. But there's love, or there's protection, or there's something in their eyes. There's a lot of stuff with their eyes that, like, it's just, there's so much emotion there, and you can't help but to feel for the villains even in this one. And it's just like I kind of like these characters, and even though they're meant to be bastards and assholes, I hate them, but I kind of feel bad for them.
Yeah.
And it's just, they did such a good job with this season. The storyline is really good. I don't want to go too far into it, but it's a really good character driven storyline where characters grow and you see kind of thought shifts in personalities and whatnot, and it's really good, really well acted.
Right.
The action is amazing. The gunplay, the fight scenes are brutal. Some of them were like some of the things that are happening to these guys and what they're doing to other people are just like, God, that's horrible to look at.
I will say that I watched a little bit of a fight scene, and everything, even the sounds, everything feels so like hard,
and
like
guttural and just
it's
real.
The sounds just feel bone crushing.
Yeah,
they're just.
You can hear
intense.
like the knife entering the body and cutting, and like that the slice sound. It's just like, oh man, the sound quality is amazing. The music is good. Everything just works. A lot of the first season of Punisher kind of fell flat. Mm-hmm. It was more based on kind of Frank trying to kind of get back into it, and it wasn't really him being the Punisher, and we wanted to see him be the Punisher, and I don't think you get that 100% here, but he, by the end of it, he's there, and in the beginning he's at like 50%, and it just kind of ramps it up as the movie goes, and it's like he's becoming more and more of what the Punisher should be, which is just vigilante. If you're a mobster, if you're a gangster, if you're an evil person, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna kill you. And you can tell that it's leading to that he's kind of embracing it almost, that it's kind of like, this is who I am. If you can't do it, I will. So get out of my way. And it's really well done. Other than one of the characters played by Amber Rose Riva, Dina Madani, which is a detective from the first season. She kind of falls flat for me. Just the character, she's very annoying and very whiny. Like in the beginning of the season, she's very gung-ho with Frank. Like, we have to do this, and then midway through it's like, we can't do this, we have to do something else, and it's like, what the fuck happened? Like, what? The shift change doesn't make sense for me, and like there's shift changes here in the show that makes sense, but hers doesn't. Hers feels almost forced, and it's just like, because somebody has to be against him and like on the good side. Someone has to try to bring him back and say, we can't just kill people, we have to be better. But it just felt too. It felt too much. It felt too forced on her end. Yeah,
they should have found a way to evolve that kind of storyline.
Yeah, because in the beginning, like I liked the character. She kind of her not wanting to be involved makes sense, but then she chooses to be involved, and then she doesn't again. It's like, why? She's very uncertain about everything, and it's just it's annoying, and it's like, especially when everybody else is very certain about everything they want to do, she's not, and it's unexplained and unwarranted. It just feels too much, too forced, and I don't like it. I didn't. I mean, she well acted. It's just I think it was the character itself, because she was a great actress. She acted very well in this. It's just the character itself of Dina Madani, the detective. I
think though that's a real person in everybody's life.
Right. Yeah.
I think that annoying, you don't know what you want, you flip flop around. I
think that's why I don't like those characters, because I don't like those people.
I don't either.
Like, figure it out. God.
Well, it's because you can never trust what they say.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to change in the next 5 minutes to something else. It's undependable. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think that's what that character was. I didn't like it. But all in all, like, it's an amazing season. Just
good writing,
great acting, phenomenal fight scenes. Like I said, the gunplay was really good, very realistic. The way everything's controlled and the way everything's handled, it's just like, these guys look like professionals. Yeah, and it's very well done. Very, like I said, everything feels real, and especially the fight scenes. It's just, oh god, so brutal. But yeah, especially like if you watched the first season and you weren't sure, definitely check out the second season, because the second season just ramps it up and it's so much better. It's definitely must see. Watch it. It's amazing.
I actually might eventually watch it.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
And I don't make a lot of commitments to television shows because I don't really.
The thing is too is that it's on Netflix and there's only 13 episodes.
Yeah.
So they're short episodes, but my god, they chock full of stuff. I'm watching episodes going like, there was like one episode, I don't want to explain what happens into it. It's kind of plot stuff, but one of the episodes I'm watching going, this is like the plot of a movie. This is so well thought out. And this is one episode. Like, Jesus Christ, like the writing and directing and everything just really comes together and just makes a really amazing TV show.
Okay.
Yeah. We gotta do better with that.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at the screen because the computer went to sleep, so I went to swipe it to wake it up, and it kept sliding. I'm like, wait, what is happening? So I wasn't able to like segue and play around like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so I also played something.
That sounds disturbing.
I saw stuff. I played stuff. All right. That one's not as ominous.
No, it's more like
I'm a child. Yeah. I played something. Because, well, let's be honest. What I'm playing, I feel like a child. Because
I was gonna say
it kind of brings me back. I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3, so this is a kind of so far review. I haven't made it very far, and I've quite a few hours. But these Japanese RPG games made by Square Enix, they have a slow start. You can play for like 5 hours and not even touch like the main story because they're just setting it up. Mm-hmm. It's not even like extra side stuff. It's just like, here's the first, not even the first chapter. Here's the prologue. Here's like a 5-hour prologue. And then, now here's the real title sequence after you've played for 5 hours. Now here's the actual title sequence and here's the whole game. It's like, what the fuck did I just play? Oh my God. Like that was just a setup? Jesus, I'm invested. God, you got me invested, Square Enix. But I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3, which is a mashup of kind of Final Fantasy-esque RPG elements and Disney characters, which is such a weird combination.
Yeah, I know.
It's definitely not chocolate and peanut butter, but goddamn does it taste good. Because it works. Somehow it works. It works so well. So I don't want to talk too much about the plot because plot spoilers, but also because I have no idea what is happening in this game because the plot is so convoluted.
This is an interesting
I
have no idea what's going on.
I have no idea. And any reviewer, IGN, Kotaku, anybody who can make sense of it, you're either full of shit or you're a goddamn Asperger's-esque genius because there's no way a normal person is going to figure this out. I don't care who you are. It's so convoluted, the story plot. I'm not playing for the plot. Let's be honest. I'm playing because there's Disney characters. Because it's also so fun. So the main character of Sora is voiced by Haley Joel Osment. Do you know who that is? It's the kid from The Sixth Sense.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he voiced the same character in the other games as well. So he's reoccurring as the voice actor. And, in the first game, he's a much younger character, which fits because he was like mid-90s. So he was a kid. And now that this character is much older, he is, Haley Joel Osment is an adult. So it's really nice to kind of see how that character grew and as did the actor. So the voice kind of stayed with it.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
It's kind of really cool that they did that. But so you play as him, but your main two party members are Donald and Goofy. Donald is like a mage and he shoots magic, and Goofy is a knight and he has a shield that he kind of throws around and he's like Captain America, which is hilarious. And it's just absolutely mind-bogglingly fun because it's so ridiculous. Because you're running around these massive worlds with Donald and Goofy, and you're fighting monsters and shit. And it's just like, this shouldn't work, but it works. It does so well what it has to do. You travel to Disney worlds. So like the first world you go to in the game is the world from the Disney movie Hercules. So you're there. And the character of Hercules is there and he helps you fight. And he's also voiced by the original actor who played Hercules in the cartoon, in the original movie. Some of the original voice actors come back.
Oh, wow. wow.
Which is just so great. I don't want to mention too many because it'll ruin who the characters are and the worlds are.
Yeah.
Which is plot stuff. But I was so amazed that they got some of these people to come back. Not all of them.
Yeah.
Which would have been great, but unrealistic.
Yeah.
Because the amount of money Disney would have had to pay, or Square Enix would have had to pay these people, would have been astronomical.
Yeah.
You know, because some of these Disney movies had some major actors in them.
They did.
That are like, you can't buy them. You can't get them now.
Right. Yep.
They're too much money.
Yeah.
But some of them they got. And it feels great because, especially if it's the original voice, it brings you right back. Like,
yeah.
It brings you right back. This is a game that does not ruin my childhood. If anything, it embraces it and goes,
Take
hey,
it, snowflakes.
Take it. Take that. But if anything, it takes my childhood and goes, hey, remember this? Isn't this great? Play with that again. It's like, I will. This is awesome. I love this. Running around with Hercules and shit. This is fucking amazing. And the worlds are so large and so well animated. You're living in a Disney cartoon. The cinematics are beautifully done. Everything is just eye-poppingly amazing. Which is also weird because you have these animated worlds, but when there's a close-up of any of the characters, you still get like a weird realism of some of the details. Like the clothes they wear has like the stitching in the shirts, and it's just like they went into so much detail on the clothing.
Yeah.
On this cartoon character that they could have just been like, he's a cartoon, so his clothes are like cartoon. So we don't have to do that much detail. No, on Donald, on Goofy, on these cartoons, there's stitching in their clothes, and you can tell that that's a leather sleeve and that's cloth, and it's just like, they did such a good job. Like,
oh, wow.
Unnecessarily a good job on this stuff. I would have been fine with just a Disney cartoon.
Yeah.
But it's so well, the character voices, some the original Goofy, original Donald, Mickey Mouse. No, I don't think it's original Mickey Mouse because Walt Disney's dead. Well, I don't think he even voiced Mickey. I don't think he did.
No.
He didn't.
No.
But I don't think it's original Mickey. But there's a lot of other original characters from like the Disney world that you would know and be like, that's the original voice of that that Mickey Mouse era cartoon character.
Right.
And it's just, that's so great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because hearing those those are like the iconic voices you remember as a child. And it's like, yeah, that is right. That is the guy, or that's the girl, or, you know, that's very well. And yeah, it does a really good job of taking, you know, this jaded 32-year-old back to being a child and going, I'm running around with Donald and Goofy, and this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And I'm doing stuff. The characters are interesting. They have depth to them, which is fucking mind-boggling to say that about Disney characters.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the Disney movies are well done. They have a lot of depth to those characters, but somehow they gave them more depth.
Wow.
And they gave them more character, so to speak. And like, you can't help but to love these people. Mm-hmm. And the music is just so good because it's it's kind of like an underlying tone of that movie's kind of theme, and it's so good. You can't help but like I have a smile ear to ear right now just thinking about it.
He really does.
It's just so wonderful.
Yeah.
To be able to play this game, and guess what? I have the whole game. I don't have to pay for extra shit. I don't have to pay for, like, you know, a Donald costume.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to, but I have to use in-game money. But you get a lot of it.
Yeah.
They don't skimp on that shit. They're just like, yeah, here's a shitload of money. Go buy whatever you want. But the gameplay is fun. The action is there, and you're pulling off these amazing moves that are just kind of exploding on the TV screen. There are special moves that you use Disney rides as weapons.
Yeah,
and
you were saying that. That is so cool.
It's a weird sentence to say.
Yeah.
Where if you hit an enemy that has a green kind of circle around it, you get a Disney ride that is it's specific to the area, to the environment. And one of the rides is a teacup. Is the teacup rides. Mm-hmm. Where you sit in one, Donald sits in one, and Goofy sits in another one. And you just bounce off of each other and go all over the area, just beating the shit, hitting guys with them, and then you pull off this finishing move where you all come together, sparks and fireworks fly off. It's so colorful and bright and vibrant, and it's hard to not look at it.
Yeah.
Like every time you summon one, there's a little button on the bottom right corner. It's like, oh, skip animation. I'm like, go fuck yourself. I'm not skipping this animation ever. This is awesome to see. And it's just so great. There was an enemy in the beginning of the game where you're fighting and you summon a roller coaster and you're riding around the sky around this massive enemy on a very brightly lit roller coaster, and it's got all a bunch of different colored bulbs on there, and so it's super bright, and you're riding around shooting fireworks at this thing, and it looks beautiful just because it's it's raining, it's a thunderstorm, but yours this light in the dark, and it just looks so good, and it's so mesmerizing to see, and it's spectacular, and it's it ends with you crashing the roller coaster into the monster, and it just explodes in fireworks, and it's so gorgeous. It's just like, oh,
the best,
and then you forget
best death scene.
Yeah, but then you forget, like, oh, that didn't kill it. I still have to fight it. Oh shit! I gotta get back in there. But you forget because you're like, oh my god, like I'm blown away by what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And it's just the worlds themselves are so large and colorful, and there's so many things to do. It's not just the story. There's so many like little side stuff that is just like, it keeps getting thrown at me. And I'm just like, all right, that's another thing I have to do. Yeah, sure. Okay.
How long did they develop this?
This game took 13 years to come out, technically.
They weren't developing for 13 years, were they? Well,
the last Kingdom Hearts game was in 2006.
Okay.
So not 13 years. But Kingdom Hearts 2 came out 13 years ago. So they had made like side games to kind of make the story more convoluted and confusing because that's what they did. And because it's super hard to follow. But so it took, because I remember around 2006, they had an announcement or they had a trailer of Sora, the main character, and Donald and Goofy running through an area fighting these enemies. And it looked amazing. And it was just like, oh my God, I can't wait for this to come out. And it never came out. And we waited and waited and waited. And then finally we got another announcement, and it was like, I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe this. I don't believe this announcement. And they showed more, and they showed more worlds and more characters. And it was just like, I think this might be coming out. I think this is a real thing. And then they gave us a release date of January 2019. And I was like, oh my God, it's real. Is that Donald? Is that Mickey? Is that Goofy? Oh my God.
See, I've been waiting for them to make, and they've been saying they're going to make this for quite a while. I don't know if they have recently said that, but the Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy.
Stop it.
I love that game.
I know you do, Heidi, but that's probably never going to happen. Although, I don't know, because they've been doing a lot of remakes lately. Crash Bandicoot remake.
Oh, really?
Spyro remakes have been done. So I think it's like almost like the era of nostalgia, where like older stuff that was out, I think companies are kind of looking back at and going, whether it's a money making thing or not, it's like we can remaster it and remake it and make it new to this new system and kind of attract a younger audience back into it. And because it's Crash Bandicoot and the new Spyro games, they're complete remakes from the ground up, graphically and everything, and it's literally for a new generation of gamer, where these younger kids can look at that game and go, oh man, let's play the new Crash Bandicoot. And it was like, that game came out PlayStation 1, like in the 90s. Like, dude, this is old. Same thing with Spyro. Like, if you look back at the original graphics from PlayStation 1, we were mesmerized.
Yeah.
And it was like same thing with you in Pitfall with those alligators. They were so real.
They scared me.
They were so real.
They were scary.
But it's like, so they're remaking it, and it's nice that they were able to kind of grasp at a new generation, new audience. And it's just, everything's being kind of nostalgic. So, and there's a lot of remakes coming out. So I wouldn't be surprised if they made a a Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy remake. They wouldn't be surprised, or at least re-release it with an HD re-release or whatever of the original game. Or is it?
Yeah, I would like that. The game is a really beautiful game for the time, and I don't remember having a bunch of bugs or anything like that. It was a great game. I still have it. I love to play it.
That's because games made back then were made with a quality that games today are not. Unfortunately, because games back then, I don't remember there being bugs.
No.
I don't remember there being there were issues where you may have gotten stuck, or if something happened and you glitched into a wall or whatever. But
yeah, I think that did happen.
Those were rare, though.
Yeah.
Those didn't happen often.
I don't even know if this developer is around. This game is from 2003.
Which is not that old.
No, but it's 16 years old. Well, 15, because it came out November 10th, 2003. But it's from this the developer was Eurocom. I've never heard of them.
Who's that's the developer?
Yeah. They're a British video game developer.
I don't know that company. Who's the publisher?
It says they were defunct in 2012.
Oh, maybe they went away. Yeah. Who's the publisher? Because that game might never be made.
No, it might not. I'm trying to find the publisher right now. So defunct means they went out of business, right?
That's what it sounds like.
So do they take this game with them to the grave? Nobody could ever make it again?
I don't know, because
how's that work?
I honestly don't know. I don't know who has that kind of power. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's a licensing thing, and if the company that has the license isn't a company anymore, I don't know who that I don't know if the license reverts to the publisher, and if that's the case, then maybe. But I don't hear a lot of clamoring for the Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy.
No, and it says the publishers are THQ.
THQ is still around.
Yeah, THQ Nordic, and THQ Wireless.
The wireless one confuses me.
The what?
The wireless one confuses me.
Well,
THQ Wireless?
It says on here for the consoles, it was THQ for PC, and then for Nintendo Switch, it was THQ Nordic.
Okay.
And then, so, it doesn't sound like the gaming company, the developers around anymore.
Which they probably are.
Which makes me really sad, because I don't know if anybody can pick up that ball and keep going.
I doubt it.
And I
don't
that
know,
game.
Yeah. But there are also the people from Sierra, the guys who made the old kind of point and click adventure games.
Yeah.
And Leisure Suit Larry and the Space Quest games like that. They're not around anymore. But I think a couple of people, they still make stuff. Because they own the rights. Like the two guys who I think ran the company, they own the rights, so they can still make games even if they're not a company. They're just now indie developers, so they can still make stuff under indie developer kind of titles.
True.
So if whoever owns it, if one or two guys from that company want to make that game, they probably could as an indie developer. But I don't know.
It just makes me sad. It's like video games I like, they're never made again. Movies or shows I like, they're never made again.
Or they're canceled after the first season. Firefly.
That wound is still fresh for everyone.
It will never heal.
It will never heal. Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's all we got.
I've given you all I've got.
Worked hard on this stuff.
Bleed me dry.
All right, well, everybody, if you, again, want to check out our episodes or listen to any extra content, you can check us out on our website at www.geek-lish.com. You can also find more information about us on our Facebook page, geek.lish, on Twitter at geek_lish, and you can find our episodes on Spotify, Stitcher, and iTunes. And again, everybody check out the extras page on our actual website of extra funny content that didn't make the episode.
Yeah, you can hear me fumbling and
it's hilarious.
saying horrible things.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I think it's funny.
I like that.
All right, everybody.
Goodbye. Stay geeky.
Bye, everybody. See you next time. I did it again.
I did it again, yeah.